Back in my hometown, Stevens Point, a woman reached out asking us to investigate her haunted home. A beautiful, museum-like Victorian home with a massive history. Built in 1899, this family purchased the home in 2018. The family requested to remain anonymous, so they will be blurred and their vocal tones will be lowered. Any personal details and names will be bleeped out.
The original owner was the Ward family.
The Ward family suffered great tragedies.
The Ward family, they had 2 children that died very tragically. One son in 1900 was duck hunting and was shot. And then their second son was actually working at the paper mill and he was crushed in one of the machines. And that was in 1909. And they also lost an infant daughter.
The woman believes the Wards and other families to haunt their home to this day. There was even a wake held in the front parlor. These dark details laid the perfect framework for a haunting. After learning about the history of the house, the owner showed us around.
All right, lead the way.
Okay, so I have a story for the staircase. I had mentioned that I felt like people watching me from the stairs, and one time I had something I wanted to take up to my bedroom. So I went up the stairs, put it away, and I came back down, and as I was holding onto the handrail, I had a hot spot where it was like a hand. So I'll tell you right about here is where that hot spot was. So I thought, it could be from the light fixture because it doesn't give off much heat.
Yeah.
And the radiator does not get hot. It's warm, but not enough to make a hot spot.
That's just where someone would keep.
That's almost what I thought, like somebody was watching me, because this is where I always look to. One time we have a standing fan that we put here in front of the door.
Yeah.
And one night, the fan's blowing on me. All of a sudden, I thought to myself, I can't feel that fan. It almost felt like somebody was standing in front of the fan, blocking it.
Just once I was, sleeping in the morning, and then someone yelled at some lady. It was a lady's voice yelled at me, "Wake up!" Were you up here yelling at me to wake up? She's like, "No." It's like, oh my gosh.
It's not fun.
Yeah, that's the first time I ever had any kind of experience, that unexplained,
Nope, there goes the battery.
Really?
That happens every time.
This is an electric box right here. So if this doesn't give anything off, then I don't think anything in this house will, honestly. Usually if you go by those, it spikes up so high.
So this is my oldest son's room, and in this room he has heard footsteps in the hallway, and he also hears a girl giggle or laugh in this room.
One night I was sleeping, and there was the sound of a little girl laughing. And at first I thought I just dreamt it, and I didn't sit up or do anything.
He has also heard the crying.
I have heard a woman crying too. And I'm not sure if my mom has talked about that too, but it sounds like a mother's weeping for a child.
And they also lost an infant daughter. One night I came up the back stairs to go to bed, and as I was walking past this door, I just got that feeling that somebody was standing right here. It's almost like, when you're close to somebody but you're not quite touching. You can feel it, So I had that sensation as I walked by. And as I continued to walk to my bedroom, I thought, are they following me down the hallway?
If there's any spirits here, can you come light up the meter? You just gotta stand next to it. This was, what was her name?
Mabel.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we just got, did you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mabel, can you light that up again?
Neither camera captured the EMF spike, but everyone, including the owner, saw it.
Oh, we just got, did you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think her spirit's here?
Possibly. She was only 15 years old when she was the servant here.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna scooch in here.
Can you come sit in the chair?
We tried to gather more evidence in Mabel's room, but captured no more spikes.
So as far as the attic, we don't spend much time up there, and we haven't experienced anything up there, but I have a friend who also believes in spirits, and she came to get a tour of the house once I bought it, and she said to me the next day at work, she said, you know that they're up in your attic. And I'm like, who's up in my attic? And she goes, with your spirits, that's where they hang out. So that's what she told me.
Interesting.
The spookiest part, of course. Yeah. Nothing bad.
Nothing
Nothing bad.
Nothing ever bad.
If there's a spirit present, cross. Make an X. Yeses to the right, no's to the left. If there's any spirits here that would like to speak to us? Yes. Are you Mr. Ward? Right is yes, left is no.
Am I allowed to ask questions?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. Is it a member of the McNish family? A member of the Burdan family?
Just, is it trying to pull it?
It's pulling an X because they're both pulling in opposite directions. Are you Mabel?
What at first appeared to be a bust quickly changed with the next question.
Are you a member of my family?
Yes.
These are your questions now.
Are you my dad?
Yes.
He passed away 2 years ago.
I'm sorry. I can feel his energy like running from the top of my head down out my toes. He's here.
You watching over her?
Yeah.
Do you try and communicate with her often? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Has she noticed you?
Oh boy.
That's weird. Can you point to her?
So I haven't noticed?
Maybe you've noticed the other spirits and not him.
Okay. Does Patrick visit?
It's pulling, yeah. It's a yes. I feel it.
That was their son. That was
Oh, there it goes. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Patrick is the one that was killed in the paper mill.
Oh. Can you light up the EMF meter? Okay. You can use battery energy if you need to, or our energy, whatever you need to communicate.
Oh,
It lit up.
thank you.
Thank you. Whatever you need to communicate.
Oh,
It lit up.
thank you.
Thank you. Could you please light up the EMF meter again? Yes, you can. Okay.
Good, please do it.
Please light it up. Use our energy or the batteries, whatever it is you need to light that up. That's what I was holding when I got zapped at the basement of the cottage.
And it would light up every time.
Oh,
When Anne mentioned the meter lighting up at the cottage cafe in Plover,
oh,
Oh,
something got me in the arm.
really?
It was like a ow! That's not nice. It's like
Because
I'm
it
being
spiked all the way
bit.
up to red when it did that.
It was like electric shock.
it lit up again.
That's what I was holding when I got zapped at the basement of the
Yeah,
cottage.
and it would light up every time.
Oh,
Can you poke one of us right now?
okay.
Poked you with the...
Literally. Okay. Was your dad a little bit of a jokester?
Oh yes. Yes, he was.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
Everybody loved my dad.
There was definitely a very strong emotional connection, and I could literally feel the energy from his spirit, like going through my head and coming out through my toes and my fingers, and when I was using the dowsing rods. It was really amazing.
So you're very active. Are you going to be even more active tonight for us? Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you like what we're doing to the house?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was like forcing against the handle. Pushing, I could feel it. Yeah, they do.
That one I wanted to know because that always bothers me. I want to make sure that they approve. Can you, like, dream spirits? Does that make
Yes.
sense? You can.
Definitely.
So now I have a good story to tell you. Buying this house, of course, I looked at it and I fell in love with it. And I wrote an offer on it, but I had a contingency to sell my house. So in that 6 months time, I was worried I was gonna lose this house. But I kept having this reoccurring dream where there was a gentleman in the basement watching me do laundry. And in my dream, he had slacks on, a white shirt, and overalls. And I was researching Mr. Ward, and I found a picture of him. And he was the man in my dream.
Wow.
Slacks, white shirt, and overalls. I saw the picture and I about fell to the floor. In the dream, there was a girl at the end of the hallway in more of an Edwardian dress. She was probably about 8 years old, and my son hears laughing down by his room.
All right, I'm just recording this on my phone. So that was very intense.
I definitely felt that her dad's spirit, and
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what we get tonight.
Yeah,
'Cause
they
I have
said
a
it was going to
feeling-
be more amped up. So.
Yeah.
Hopefully
Yeah.
we communicate with her dad again.
Yeah.
Right.
'Cause
Well,
I definitely felt that cold spot upstairs, and I weren't filming then, but definitely felt a presence up there.
Yeah.
No
I feel
window
like
open.
it's helping her get more closure too, which I don't want to speak for her, but
Yeah.
well, I'm excited for tonight.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
After we left the house, we visited a local spirit shop to purchase sweetgrass and sage to use at the house during the nighttime portion of our investigation. We then visited the St. Stephen Cemetery to pay our respects to the Ward family. We hope to come into friendly contact with their spirits at night, and if not, we hope they would rest peacefully.
Go on.
Yep.
So we have this entire house to ourselves. Full range, everything. I have some sweet grass right here. This is supposed to attract positive spirits, not negative ones. They said that we could burn this, sage, whatever we wanted in the house. So how far did you want us to go? Did you want us to provoke them? Or, because that usually, well, that doesn't really make the good spirits angry. Usually
Right.
it just brings out the bad more.
Okay.
But we can sage whatever you want us to do.
Oh.
Because that gets rid of the bad,
Sure.
if there's any, and it keeps all the good. So
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
let's light this and attract some spirits. Hopefully they don't have really strong smoke alarms. You can definitely smell it. Alright, we'd like to communicate with all the nice, kind spirits that are here. Hopefully this will give you guys some energy to communicate with us.
We walked around the house burning the sweetgrass, hoping to attract friendly entities.
Okay.
Be careful.
Are there any spirits that would like to communicate with us? We're burning some sweet grass. Hopefully this gives you some energy.
We then headed up to the second floor, hoping to come in contact with whatever Anne felt previously.
Are there any spirits here?
So
Those mannequins freak me out.
Gotta sit on the floor. Are there any spirits that would like to communicate with us? We're trying to give you some energy, draw you in. Is that the bench?
Yeah.
Okay.
I continued to burn the sweetgrass in the master bedroom, asking the spirits to light up the EMF detector. We captured no evidence.
We're gonna do a session in the attic.
Do you want to?
Yeah.
Alright, let's go up. And you want to grab the rods?
Yeah.
That'd be a cool place to do it.
We'll do a session. There,
Making me sweat.
well, it should be cooler up there.
Oh! Did you see that? Did you get that on camera?
I don't know. I wasn't really
What
looking.
was it?
Can you light it up again? It went to the 2. It's not super high, but...
Just then, I got a spike on the EMF meter.
There,
Making me sweat.
well, it should be cooler up there.
Oh! Did you see that? Did you get that on camera?
I don't know. I wasn't really
What
looking.
was it?
The camera didn't pick it up, but just wait.
Can you light that up for me again, please?
Oh! Ooh! I should have got that.
All right.
Should have got that.
Can you light that up for me again, please?
Oh! Ooh! I should have got that.
All right.
Should have got that.
Can you light that up for me again, please?
Oh! Ooh! I should have got that.
All right.
Should have got that.
Didn't see the window open. The window's not open up in the hall upstairs. Okay. The EMF sensor went off right where that cold spot was.
That was strong. Just like for a second.
Yeah.
Huh.
We then headed up to the attic.
Yeah.
I just saw something.
What?
I don't know. Somebody else go first.
Okay. I'm not afraid.
I'm not scared because I know they're not bad, but
Are there any spirits up here? We heard that you guys like to hang around up here. Oh, this floorboard is like sinking in. Don't stand there. Oh, it just lit up. It just lit up. Get that camera over here.
We captured 3 strong spikes in that area. So we sat down nearby and began a dowsing rod session.
Okay. Are there spirits here that would like to talk to us today? X signifies spirit. Right is yes. Yes. Oh, we got an X. Oh, thank you.
Is the sweetgrass bringing you into us? Is it helping attract you to us to talk?
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
Not only did we get an answer, but we caught a strange light anomaly on camera.
Is it helping attract you to us to talk? Us to talk. Us to talk.
If this was dust, it would have entered one side of the frame and exited another. This disappears into me. Very creepy.
It's only attracting good spirits, correct?
It's sort of kind of going. Oh, it just said no.
Huh.
Well, sweetgrass is supposed to only attract positive spirits or positive energy.
Are we
So,
bringing something negative with us?
Are we bringing negative spirits with us?
Yeah, I heard that too.
Taylor and I both hear a tapping sound behind us. It could have been the house settling, but it was loud enough to get her to pan the full spectrum camera around.
Are we bringing negative spirits with us?
Yeah, I heard that too.
No. Okay, we didn't bring it in. Okay. Thank you. Is Dad here with us now? Make an X if it's you. Oh my gosh. Thank you. We're so glad to talk to you again. Can you light up the EMF meter? It's laying on the floor there. Yes? Okay.
Please do.
Please do. We've got batteries here. We've got our own energy if you need it. We know you can do it. You did it for us earlier today. Whatever you need to communicate.
Oh,
It lit up.
thank you.
Thank you. Could you light it up again?
We let the meter sit but saw no spike. Was the movement of the rods human error, or were we really again talking to the woman's father?
I felt the energy and emotional connection in the attic. I feel this is the same as it was downstairs. So should we do this in a different room? Yes, okay. Is it hard for you to light this up in the attic?
We again caught a light anomaly. Watch this camera angle closely.
So should we do this in a different room? Yes, okay. Is it hard for you to light this up in the attic? So should we do this in a different room? Yes, okay. Yes, okay. We're going to visit another place in the house. Thank you for helping us. Okay, well, if you guys want to follow us around the house and communicate, we would appreciate it. Mabel, can you show up in my picture? If you're here?
Oh, I saw like an orb, or maybe it was like dust or something.
Well, I asked it if it was here, if it would show up in the picture.
Oh, look, little spot for it.
The orb Taylor captured on camera could have been dust,
Oh, I saw like an orb.
as other dust was spotted throughout the night. However, this orb strobed. Very strange.
Please replace the batteries. I just put new ones in today when we were here earlier.
We then began a spirit box session.
There we go.
Mabel, we're in your room. Are you here with us?
We can hear you talking. Just come over and speak to us. Is Father here? I am. Is Father here? I am. Is Father here? I am.
Who else is here? Who else is here?
There was the sound of a little girl laughing.
Can you say one of our names really crystal clear?
Just then, Anne captures a strange photo. It is utterly insane. We were completely static, so it could not have been dust, and everything was in focus, so there would be no reason for the camera to create a motion blur. Also, notice this blue dot in the center. A blue-tinted orb could mean the presence of a kind or serene spirit. Could this captured orb and weird mist be Mabel, the little girl spirit, or the woman's father trying to drain my energy to communicate?
I'm getting cold over here.
I'm warm.
As Taylor says she feels cold, while Matthias says he feels hot, a voice comes through the spirit box saying, "Hey."
I'm getting cold over here.
Could Taylor be feeling a spirit enter the room through the doorway right behind her?
I'm getting cold over here. Okay.
This is cool. We just captured two spirits having a conversation. And when Anne hears it and responds, a spirit responds to her as well.
Okay.
Michael here? Ward? Is Michael here? Ward? He's here.
I heard a little voice say, I'm here.
He's here.
I heard a little voice say, I'm here. Who's the little girl? What's your name? Who's the little girl? What's your name?
Taylor, what do you feel? You keep looking around.
I don't know. I get nervous. Like something's right over
That's a
there.
scream.
Like behind you or in the hall?
Yeah, or like right here. I keep thinking there's gonna be something over there.
Okay, well, I'm gonna walk past the camera carefully, and I'm gonna check out the hall.
Anne goes out to the hall to snap some pictures, not capturing anything. Yet.
Do you want to tell us something? Tell us something? I hear something in the hallway. I hear something in the hallway. In the hallway.
I'm getting cold again.
It sounded like something coming in the hallway. It sounded like something coming in the hallway.
As Anne goes out to the hallway again, listen to a male spirit tell her that her camera battery is dead.
I swear I just saw something zoom.
Indeed she did. This orb was visible to Anne's eyes, and she captured it on camera after hearing scuffling in the hall.
A lot of activity happened in the hall, like the orb, the EMF spike, and the cold spots.
You know, it would kind of make sense for the upstairs hallway to have so much paranormal activity, as it's sort of like a main hub of the upstairs.
Can you do something?
Hey,
Okay. Can you do something?
hey, hey.
Will you please tell me the name of the little girl who's laughing? Will you please tell me the name of the little girl who's laughing? Do you know what room we're in right now? Whose room did this used to be? When the Ward family owned this house. Whose room did this used to be? When the Ward family owned this house. Whose room did this used to be?
Where are you, Matthias?
I'm right by the camera.
I keep feeling like somebody's right here. You guys are all the way down there?
Yeah.
Alright, we're taking everything down, getting our equipment back. I am going to light up a little bit of the sage that I bought. I know it doesn't smell the best, so I'm not going to do that much, but I figured if we're bringing spirits to us, we should probably bring them away. So, alright, I'm just going to walk around a little bit. Should probably clear everything out. No spirits, no bad spirits in here at all, but none follow us home. We wish the best.
We saged the entire house, especially the upper floor, as it was much more active.
No negative energy is allowed in this home. We thank you for speaking to us. Nothing is allowed to attach to us.
The Ward house was full of paranormal activity. We captured much activity in Mabel's room, hearing a little girl frequently.
Will you please tell me the name of the little girl who's laughing?
There was the sound of a little girl laughing.
Many light anomalies were also captured, and batteries died left and right.
Nope, there goes the batteries.
Really?
That happens every time. Please replace the batteries. I just put new ones in
Really?
today when we were here earlier.
The woman was also luckily able to communicate with her deceased father, who said he watches over her.
Are you my dad? He passed away 2 years ago.
I'm sorry. I can feel his energy, like running from the top of my head down out my toes. He's here.
You watching over her?
Yeah.
We hope our time and equipment could help bring her more closure in regards to him,
His father here?
and more knowledge of the other energy in her home.